June 21st, 2010. This is Diehard Gamer Radio Show 91.
You are approaching the target of attack. Your mission starts now. Are you ready? The countdown begins. 3, 2, 1, go.
You are listening to Diehard Gamer Radio, the source for off-mainstream video game news and topics. And now, your hosts, Murdock, Brian, John, and Steve.
Just a couple more shots.
The future has changed, and
The
Buck
Summer
Rogers...
Solstice Special!
It is. This episode will be longer than all the other episodes.
And daylight, maybe.
Yeah. So welcome back to Diehard Gamer Radio. I am Murdock, and with me is Steve.
Sure.
Brian.
Dear mama.
And coming back for his 252nd appearance for Diehard Gamer Radio, we welcome back Angry John.
That's right.
Okay. Well, today is a very special episode of Diehard Gamer Radio.
Is this the episode where you lose your virginity?
It's the...
Just the Wonder Years episode.
No, it's the one where the older girls all have bongs that are actually that they say are pencil holders, and all the younger girls want to get pencil holders just like them, and so they go out to a head shop and buy bongs, and then
What the fuck are you saying?
that was a Facts of Life episode.
Why do you know that?
Yeah, why do you know that?
Because there was like a whole thing about fucked up episodes in 80s
The only very
sitcoms.
special episode I remember is the very special episode where Tootie lost her virginity. So.
Oh, well.
Was it a very special episode where Arnold from Different Strokes walks into that one bike shop?
Well, right, with the pedal. Yeah,
Oh,
there
it
was the
guy-
pedal bike shop
Well,
guy.
not only that, it was the guy who ran the station on WKRP in Cincinnati. So.
What about when Quirky learns a life lesson?
That's every episode.
Yeah.
So, yes, this is a very special episode of Die Hard Gamer Radio where the podcast loses its virginity and probably has its first period. But let's go on.
Moving on.
Starring Kirk Cameron.
Yeah.
So, a bunch of E3 news. So
And
let's
his fundy propaganda.
Yeah, so our first bit of E3 news, Left Behind coming out in 3D.
Yeah. Left Behind for the 3DS.
More like Infamous.
No, it's coming out on the Atari Jaguar. This just in.
Yeah.
It's a fan-made project.
By the same, no, it's by the
is-
same group that did Attack the Killer Penguins.
There is actually a lot of homebrew done for the Atari Jaguar.
And the Atari 2600.
Holy crap, yeah.
There's actually a new Atari Lynx game coming out.
Yeah. Was it the same people that brought out, was it Beggar Prince?
No, it's
for
the same
yeah.
people who did California Games. No.
Oh, Epics?
Yeah, it is like the Bigger Vance or Bigger Prince.
Beggar Vance. That's a million Amero idea right there. Beggar Vance, the video game.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
Holden Caulfield, the video game, too.
Yeah. Hey, watch as Will Smith sets race relations back 20 years. No.
They could get, just about any emo kid to be Holden Caulfield. They just do a cast call, and whichever one will work for less.
They could.
Which of you will work for scale? Okay, which one of you will work for scale, and then give us all the money back after we give it to you?
Yeah.
And sign your rights away for any further...
Yeah.
Perpetuity, blah, 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 blah.
J.D. Salinger's running around in heaven going, damn it!
J.D. Salinger's dead.
Running around in heaven.
Heaven.
Wherever.
Yeah. So you'll know when I go nuts.
Convenient shortcut for afterlife type places.
Antarctica. No.
Yeah. Fortress of Solitude. He's in the Fortress of Solitude up north, and he's just like, oh,
He's wrestling-
you can't make movies out of my books.
Wrestling polar bears with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
There's a Photoshop right there.
All right, this is already off the rails. Do some moderating, for
All
Christ's
right.
sake.
Yeah. Bring this back, goddammit.
Okay, E3 news. Infamous 2 for PS3 announced, which would interest John.
Nobody here.
Moving right along.
Yeah.
Did any of you play Infamous just out of
I
curiosity?
played Infamous.
Did you like it?
No.
Oh, well.
I'm sure
rather
if I
be-
invested more than 2 hours in the game, I might have liked it. But the 2 hours I played, I was really bored with it. And, there's so many sandbox games out there. it has something that sets itself apart from all the other sandbox games. But at the time, I was really sick of just playing in an open world environment.
Yeah.
You can get sick of that. So
Okay. So next up, and this would interest Brian and myself, Space Invaders Infinity Gene.
I played the
coming
crap
for
out of it on my
Xbox
iPhone.
Live Arcade and PSN, which is awesome because now you'll be able to actually see what the hell you're doing.
You can see it on the iPhone.
Yeah, you
Just,
can.
in
But
miniature.
but see, now it'll be on a real game system.
Probably be a little easier to play, too. 'Cause your thumb won't be in the way while you're moving back and forth on the screen.
Well, it'll also involve an actual fucking controller. So
And my thumb's a controller. It's just a really fat controller.
I see.
Yeah.
But it does have a bunch of articulation points on it.
No, just one, really.
Yeah,
That's all you really need with the iPhone.
I see. So enough of that. Next up, Dreamcast titles to hit the PSN and XBLA. Sonic Adventure and Crazy Taxi are the first titles being released. This will not affect either myself or Brian because we still have our Dreamcasts and both of those games.
I still have my Dreamcast.
Do you
Yeah, I play Soul Calibur on it like once a month
really?
because it's the best game on the Dreamcast.
I play whatever import shmup just came out on it.
I love Crazy Taxi. My Dreamcast is right up there behind you, though. It hasn't been taken out in a while.
So, any interest in playing Dreamcast games on these systems? Probably not any of us because we didn't get rid of our hardware.
Yeah,
If they were free, maybe, but otherwise it doesn't really
No, I don't
yeah, and
think
every
they'll
game,
be free.
every game I really want to play on the Dreamcast, I already have it on the Dreamcast. So
seem... Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
much it, too.
So, Fist of the North Star, Ken's Rage, coming to U.S.
this better not be like that crappy NES Fist of the North Star game.
Oh,
Do you remember that one? Holy shit, was that bad?
This is much better.
It's
This
the-
game's... I've almost beat the Japanese one. I
It's-
can't believe how many freaking chapters there are. I'm on chapter 15, and there's another 5 chapters.
What?
I was like, it just when you think you've gotten to the end of the screen and then you come back the next time to play it, it's grown.
What is it, like a side-scrolling beat 'em up?
It's like a Muso game, but mixed
Like
more
Dynasty
in with
Warriors.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But no, it's much better than that because you're not just constantly fighting waves after waves. There's little breaks in between, story breaks. There's little things you get to do. You power up, and it's just a lot better, I think, than actually a Dynasty Warrior game by far. Because it's not that monotonous wear your hands out for 30 minutes trying to complete a stage. That's why I was actually really surprised when it came out. I still bought it just on kind of on the edge. I was like, but it's Fist of the North Star. But there was also that worry too that we weren't going to see it over here. So
Yeah,
I got that copy for that reason too, and now it's coming out. So
cool. And it might have more blood than the Japanese version, which wouldn't take much.
the Japanese version wasn't that bad. It didn't really need to have a lot of blood. But yeah, it's always
Fist
fun to
of the
see
North
explosive.
Star.
Well, they just made it more explosive, like lightning explosive. They just where the blood explodes, it's just this flash of light. But yeah, I guess it would be better with a little more blood, but it's not absolutely necessary. I don't think.
True. So, any interest in that, John?
Yeah, I mean, I'll check it out. I actually played a couple of Dynasty Warrior games, and they're okay. The repetition does get tiresome after a while, but
I think
this is a North Star.
yeah.
I mean, I'd say my favorite Dynasty Warriors game was Dynasty Warrior Gundam because of the theme. So if it's a Dynasty Warrior game with a Fist of the North Star theme, I'm sure I'll like it too, just because, like I said, I like the Gundam version. So.
You're
It
probably the
keeps
only
it,
one that liked the Gundam one.
The only thing that sucked is that it did not have my favorite Gundam model in the game. So
Ah,
I think you'll
That'd
like
be
Muso.
Tequila Gundam.
yes, yeah. No, it was the Nobel Gundam. No,
I think you'll like this
or
just
the
because
Windmill
it actually,
Gundam from Neo Holland. Yeah,
Yeah.
actually,
I'll get
it's
it out
the new
eventually.
Gundam
so what was that, Brian?
I don't know.
from
I gave
Shaw's
up.
Counterattack.
Okay.
You
So,
can just figure it out when he plays it.
so next up, Fallout New Vegas coming October 19th, and also Fallout Online taking signups for beta testing, which would be interesting to Nice John if he was here.
He's not, so screw him and screw this game.
But
I'm not a Fallout fan, and I don't care. And if you're going to talk about MMOs, the only MMO we should talk about is the one that got the most attention at E3. It starts with the word Star Wars and ends with the words The Old Republic.
It's kind of interesting that that they're taking beta for Fallout Online when they haven't even figured out the rights thing with that yet.
There's always that argument, yeah.
So
well,
I don't know. I'm still playing the original PC one.
You can go to their website and it's taking sign-ups.
Taking your time on that game, aren't you?
I haven't had a lot of time to play games lately. Just too much going on. I really want to get it. I've got it installed and I've put like an hour into it, and I just can't get back to it.
What game?
Fallout on the PC.
No,
Fallout 3.
I don't know.
Fallout 3, yeah.
I tried playing it on the 360 and it just did not grab me. I gave up after a couple days.
I didn't like it as much on the 360 as I did on the PC.
Yeah, I think it was better on the PC too.
So next up, Natal renamed Kinect, and it comes out November 2010. It'll come out with 15 titles at launch, and flailing is not included. You will need to provide your own. So, and not to be confused
I can see
with
this
the
being
toys.
exciting for about a month, and then I'm going to put it down and come back to it a year later and have to reconnect.
A month?
You know,
That's a long time.
I know how many days I'm going to be excited by it.
0?
Yes.
yeah.
Any?
Not a lot of. We don't have a lot of solid information on this. So anybody
yeah.
making a decision on it either way is really
based
kind of
on what
jumping
they've
the gun.
released information-wise, it's not anything really new or exciting. The only
well,
exciting
it's-
thing on there actually is probably the Michael Jackson game. That actually looks kind of cool.
But it's not geared towards. The thing is, it's not geared towards gamers. Once again,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
casual
It's more-
gamer
yeah,
stuff.
they're trying to grab the Wii
and
market,
so
I'm sure.
it's not really directed to your traditional gamers. It's directed to a larger audience.
Exactly.
So.
That's the point I was about to make. Is that it's obviously aimed. If you look at it, it's the games. The games are really simple. They're meant for like kids and families to play. So
Yep.
yeah.
I got no problem with it.
Okay. And it's not to be confused with the toys that you use to put stuff together. Don't confuse it with Kinects. And Milo wasn't in any of the videos that I saw at E3, so I was actually kind of disappointed about that. So, next up, we have, let's see, Kinect Games announced. So, let's see what we got here.
Crap.
Yeah,
More crap. And
Ooh, look at there's a taste of crap on the end.
yeah. So,
The crêpe de jour.
some of these were kind of creepy, like Kinectimals, a virtual pet training sim, which I saw a video of it, and it's like, okay, 4chan's gonna have a field day with this.
4chan's gonna have a field day with fucking Milo.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
And Dance Central, which I saw the video of that at E3, and it was quite sad. The Star Wars, did anyone have any opinion on the Star Wars one?
They showed about 15 seconds. There is nothing to have an opinion about.
Okay.
That's the
Yeah.
problem with all the news about the Kinect thing, is that there's no news to report. But since it's E3, they have to talk about it for 6 hours straight.
Yes. So, next up, while Steve is angry about this whole thing,
I'm just,
You
it's
were.
like 24-hour news now. It's like, we got to talk about this. We have nothing to report about, so we'll just talk about it some more.
did they go to Anderson Cooper in
Yeah, they might as well have.
yes, they went to Anderson Cooper at the Superdome in Louisiana. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a situation
He's
room at
somewhere in
G4.
Rwanda talking about the Kinect.
So here's the Kinect. I'm showing it off in Rwanda. Too bad you guys don't have electricity, but you can crack nuts with it.
Yeah.
I mean, are we going to waste time talking about this, Murdock? I mean, let's
No.
be interested. We're gamers. This is not a device for us. We really don't need to talk about it. Hey, who's going to buy it? Are you going to buy it?
No.
Steve, are you going to buy it?
I don't know yet.
I'm not going to buy it. Brian, you buy a lot of peripherals. You may actually fucking buy it, so.
I don't think so.
You'll
Just
go buy a
doesn't seem
goddamn
that
flight
exciting.
stick for one fucking game, so I'm sure you'd buy this thing.
It's actually 3 games. You can actually use it on your PC as well.
You should see him plug that thing into the PSP. It's awesome.
Well,
Just modify it with that USB
these
out. It
these
works
3
fine.
things that you have about the Kinect could have been one news item.
Yeah, I know. But they also get a gesture-based video chat.
Maybe you should have connected them.
Yeah.
Did you want to share those Kinect jokes
No,
now? Or
no.
You know, I was thinking that actually might be a fun game, as if they brought Kinect 4 back and you had to put the pieces in manually from way up high and drop them down the giant board.
That would suck. That would really suck.
Bringing back board games in a whole new way. For little 6-year-olds who can't reach high enough.
Yeah, you can pay $199 for that, for the Kinect and the software, or you can buy the actual board game for less.
You know what drives me nuts about this is look what Nintendo did with that little tiny bar. And look at the monstrous size of this fucking thing.
Well,
it's like the
that
size
thing
of
will
a
also,
small.
the Wii thing won't track you when you move though. There's a lot more.
Tracks the sticks.
No,
That's all it needs to.
But no,
it tracks the
it'll
nunchuck.
it'll track you. Like it'll adjust the camera to follow you if you move to the peripheral of the device. There's a lot more of mechanical stuff going on in the Kinectix thing than the Wii.
Yeah. But moving on, it does get a gesture-based video chat. The only comment I had on this was "Welcome to penis chat," which
chat roulette, yay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're about 2 months behind on the penis chat thing. Anyway, go on.
Itagaki's new game is called Devil's Third, and he's the producer of Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive. Notably missing humongous boobs in the video, but they look kind of interesting. I don't know if
Maybe
any of
it's
you
a
caught it.
DLC.
No,
I have not seen it.
I wouldn't be surprised if Itagaki
I've
actually
heard of the
did
title, and that was it.
I saw the
know
video
nothing
of it.
about
It looked very bloody, and that's about
a
it.
bloody game from the maker of Ninja Gaiden. Yeah.
Yeah. So lots of running up walls and people shooting other people, and that was really about it.
I noticed in your notes it says humongous boobs.
Yeah, well, that's what it's missing. So
Are those different from humongous boobs?
Well,
One of them is made of hummus.
yes. So next up, Valve games delayed, and also Portal 2 coming out for PS3. Which Portal 2, does that interest anyone, Brian?
the first
I like
one
the
was
idea
fun.
of Portal.
I
First
do
time
with
playing a
Steve.
game. I don't.
I like the idea of it, but
I
I've
don't
never
think
enjoyed
it needed
playing
a
it.
sequel. I think it was fine at the end of the first one. They should've just
and
left it
surprisingly
alone.
enough, they didn't announce Left 4 Dead 3.
It has been a year, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah,
They're not properly exploiting their franchises.
Well, if that was the case, wouldn't Half-Life Episode 3 come out by now?
No, that's scheduled for sometime after the
Duke Nukem
Singularity.
Forever,
After the
Yeah.
apocalypse.
No, well, they made this whole thing how they're going to have a big announcement. Then they didn't have a big announcement.
Well, I guess Portal 2 was their big announcement.
Well,
Wow.
it's Valve isn't going to make a big announcement unless their website changes. That's the only time they make a big announcement. Can't believe anything they say other than that, because apparently, it's like, I don't know, moving a mountain to get them to change their website. So it's only done when it's really important.
Yeah. So, next up, ESPN to deliver programming over Xbox Live. How is ESPN going to manage this when they can't even deliver programming through a television?
Well, actually, they don't deliver programming through a television. What they do is they send their signal to a service provider like cable or Dish Network or DirecTV, and then they're the ones who provide you with that signal.
Yeah,
So-
we you don't have to be pedantic about it.
Well, I was just
yeah, he
responding
does.
to your comment. Jeez.
All right. You get the idea. So I'm sure that this interests anyone. Steve, I know you watch
It's
a lot
hard to
of.
find somebody who doesn't already have ESPN if they want it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's the thing. I've already got it on every TV I've got connected to.
I did see a lot of people on ours saying, "Well, this is the one thing I don't need. This is the one thing I need to get rid of cable entirely." I'm like, really?
What?
Yeah. You know, I
Really?
watch more hockey games on non-ESPN channels than I do on ESPN.
Well, that's because ESPN doesn't
Yeah.
show hockey.
They don't have
Exactly.
NHL stuff.
So I don't watch ESPN anyways.
I don't know. It seems like okay. Well, maybe it's okay for some folks, but I don't see how it's like a.
ESPN's
Yeah.
made up of nothing but football and
Yeah,
car racing and
other,
golf.
other than that football show, I mean, what
Lacrosse.
else?
a little basketball.
Monday Night
snooker.
Football.
Well, actually, they have the NBA
Yeah,
exclusivity.
Monday Night Football.
A little basketball.
and Monday football. No,
Snooker.
they have
TNT was actually showing more basketball this
No.
end of this year than I think I saw on ESPN.
well,
Because I thought TNT got all the rights to the finals.
TNN tends to get
Actually-
tends to get the rights for the playoffs, and the finals get basically broadcast by ESPN over a major network.
ABC because both ABC and ESPN are owned by Disney.
Okay.
So yeah, whatever. It'll change next year, maybe. Who knows? Depends on
Yeah.
who shells out money for it.
No, the deal's good for like 2-3 more years.
So if you like watching championship snooker or darts, then ESPN on Xbox Live might be the thing
You're
for you.
completely confused there, Murdock. You obviously don't want to watch enough sports. Okay, if you wanted to watch those sports, they'd put the Fox Sports Network on
Oh,
Xbox Live.
okay.
Then you can hear British broadcasters getting excited when somebody makes I don't know, does something in darts. I don't know. I don't actually understand how they score
He
it.
made it to the board.
I don't actually understand how the game scores, but I hear them get excited over
I think they
nothing.
just make it up as they go along.
I think you got to get to a certain point total, so they're actually trying to hit certain numbers to add up to that total. If they don't
Without
get the
going
20.
over? Or,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
okay.
like Price is Right.
Shut up.
Have
Yeah,
you got $1
do some
left at the
moderating
end of
here,
your
Murdock.
game?
All right. So Xbox 360 redesigned cost $299 with 250 gigabyte hard drive and Wi-Fi out of the box. Finally,
You also notice here, there's also a 120 version that's going to be $249.
It's so much worth it. Just going with a $299 though.
Well, the Wi-Fi. I mean, the
And it
it's
looks
nice
like
thing with the Wi-Fi is it's 802.11n, which is nice.
And it's built in, so you don't have to drop $99 on a fucking adapter.
The N is for nice.
Yeah.
and it looks like a big black bow tie.
But hey, guess what?
Yeah, it classes up your console area.
Yeah, but
It is-
hey,
it-
guess what? If you already bought the 250 hard drive and the $99 adapter, like me, this means jack shit. So
Until your, Xbox Red rings.
yeah, until the red rings. Oh yes, and then of course the new. You notice they've taken the red ring out of the Xbox Slim.
Yes.
Now it just has the red dot in the middle will light up if you have a system hardware failure, which is really creepy. They showed a picture of it. It actually looked like the Xbox became self-aware. Like how? I was like, holy fuck!
I'm just gonna say, open the drive bay door, Hal.
I'm afraid I can't do that, Brian.
Hal, I need my movie back. I've got to take it back.
I'm sorry. I can't
Netflix
do
wants it back.
Yeah.
I can't
should've
do that,
gone-
Brian. Would you like to watch ESPN on me?
You should have gone to live streaming, Brian. Oh man.
Okay, that was enough of that.
Okay.
I think it's a really good deal for the price. It sounds like they're finally giving you enough. It's like everything that you really need in that for the good price. I mean, you're not paying extra and not getting the things you really need. So, and the one thing I noticed too is that when they showed how to change from the old from your old hard drive to the new one, it's the same cable, except now
Yeah.
they're charging you $26 for it.
And then,
Or if you already bought it, you already have the cable anyway. So it
yeah,
doesn't
if you have
matter.
one of the old ones where you had the transfer cable, you're fine. So it looks like it's going to work with the old one too.
I'm
so.
I'm actually gonna wait until I go to Ben Hack's website and have him take it apart so he can say,
Ours
"Well,
already
this
did
is."
it.
Oh, have they? Okay.
Like last week.
Oh, okay.
On the
Did
day
they
it
find any
released.
real structural problems with it? Just
No.
out of curiosity. Okay. Nothing yet.
Well, I mean, it's electronics.
Oh.
And it's mass produced.
Could be bad. Who knows? Can't
The
tell by
hard
looking at
drive
it.
isn't, or the drive bay isn't sitting above the motherboard still, is it?
And are there still
I mean,
employees?
at some point it is because there's no part of that thing that doesn't have a motherboard underneath it.
and
so.
and are there still employees working at what's that Chinese FunCon or something?
Foxconn.
Foxconn.
Makes like motherboards for everything you buy these days.
Yeah. Are there still employees alive to manufacture these
Oh,
things?
they only have one jump out a window a week. Come
Yeah.
on.
The attrition rate's
You know how
real
many
low.
that work there? There's like 4,000 of them.
Actually, the
The attrition rate's real low.
or
It's all right.
400,000, I think, between the two or
they
three
actually made
plants
an
they were
announcement
talking
that,
about.
that to prevent the suicides, they're going to move all the jobs over to Korea. I'm like,
Yeah,
what?
That'll help.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. So
They're just going to get workers that don't show up because they're stuck at home playing MMOs.
Yeah. Pretty
So
much.
what, they make this in Korea?
Yeah.
Gran Turismo 5 coming out November 2nd, 2009 with 3D. Date
About
subject to
fucking
change.
time.
Don't care.
Well, I know Brian cares.
Brian's the
well,
only one.
Although the one bit of news that I read about today is that it comes with a track editor, which I'm like,
Interesting.
So this came out last year. I'm looking at your date here.
I mean, yeah, that should be 10.
Yeah.
That's
Sorry.
when it should have come out.
See,
I
For
think
the
you mean
second
08.
Yeah, let's see if it can make that date. So,
You know what else is,
Meanwhile, Forza 15 is out been released a week before.
yeah,
You know what else I saw
and
a
it
video
plays
of
better.
was,
It looks better.
what else they showed video of was Motorstorm Apocalypse. Looked pretty cool. It looked kind of like a San Francisco Rush, except you're going through derelict cities and
San
buildings are just
San
falling
Francisco
down behind you.
Rush.
Well, I mean, it's got that same speed and in the city kind of look where you're flying through the city and you've got just stuff destroying.
It's as
around
original
you.
as Outrun.
What, yeah, what's next? The next game you're gonna compare is, oh man, this driving game is so good. It looks just like Cruising USA. Yeah,
I was talking about the aspect of the game because it drew back and you had a lot of scenery and you were flying through the city. Most games don't do that. I mean, most of them do close-ups and you're in the car and you see the stuff around you, but you're really close focused. The screenshots they showed from behind it, you were like overhead and behind. They had a lot of views, and
You know what we
they were
need?
focusing on the scenery.
We need a Rad Racer remake.
Well, Square is still around. So next up, Need for Speed 25 coming out now. Fable 3, November 26th.
Look for me to plug in my Fable 2 and see how much money I make now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
And
Still
it-
haven't done it.
I
It
gotta play
looked
it.
really interesting.
Is it
I will
something?
say it.
So did the first one and the second one. Well,
Well,
that
yeah,
turned out.
but no, I mean,
Not
this
interesting
one.
enough for me to play yet.
What looked interesting was the setting. It looked like it almost takes place like in a Victorian era or something.
Well, they wanted to. That kind of tracks with what's his name desire to make it so that you.
Peter Molyneux.
Yeah, Molyneux, who
Pardon me, can you
his,
pass the Grey Poupon?
his expressed desire to make the costuming system more prevalent in the next Fable.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
When's
if
he
I'll-
going to work in the gameplay part of it?
It was really put out by the fact that a lot of people didn't properly use the costuming system in Fable 2.
Did he
To which you
mention-
said there was a costuming system in Fable 2, and he's like, yes, and we didn't actually, present it to the player very well.
Oh, well, that's not our fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I didn't even play Fable 2. I was so disappointed with what Fable was. You mean. So, I mean, it looks interesting, but if I doubt I'll ever play it. The thing needs to get to like 9.5s in like EGM and Game Informer before I'll even consider touching it. So,
So next up, Nintendo 3DS confirmed. So what is a 3DS? It's 3D in your hand, like your hand.
Like your hand.
So it can produce 3D effects without the need for any special glasses. It is scheduled for release in the fiscal year ending March 2011. Notable titles include Star Fox 64 3D, Pilot Rings Resort, Mario Kart 3DS, Kid Icarus Uprising. The Nintendo 3DS will support game installation. User can copy game data into the handheld's internal memory for faster load times for games, although I'm not quite sure why load time is an issue for a cartridge.
yeah.
So, Nintendo 3DS, any interest in this?
Yeah, I'll probably buy one. I mean, come on. I mean, we're gamers, so yeah, we'll probably, well, with the exception of Steve, the three of us will probably buy it. Steve's definitely not what you would call a handheld guy, and there has to be something that draws him where we will,
I am pretty short, though.
whereas we will actually buy something even if there's not anything on it yet worth playing. So
Well, I mean, come on.
Well, consoles is different. I mean, I'll have to have like 6 or 7 games that really make me want to buy the console. But with a handheld, you're pretty much guaranteed to find something you like pretty quickly.
Look around this room and you can see the other things that I spend my money on. So
yeah, like those like sexy Ghost in the Shell figures.
those are awesome.
Yeah, and you can't see it from podcast land, but Steve does also have hookers, and he does have a bunch of stripper poles in his apartment. So we'll post pictures of that later on our GeoCities website. So any other thing that we want to talk about the 3DS, or should we just go on?
Go on.
Okay.
I mean, come on. Well, here's the thing: we don't know enough about it yet. I mean, it looks like it looks like a DS.
With an analog controller.
Right. So I mean, it's still a year away. I'm sure as it gets closer, we'll hear more and more about it.
And Nintendo's really good about keeping their shit under wraps, so we'll get what we get when we get it.
Yeah.
We're not going to see anything snuck out any sooner.
So next up, GoldenEye Remake coming exclusively to the Wii, which would interest the people who are still playing it on the Nintendo 64.
Well, not only that,
Which is not a small number of people,
It
by
is
the way, because
not.
people are freaking obsessed with that game.
It was a good game.
it is the first. It is the first truly great FPS on a console.
Now, keep in mind that this GoldenEye will not have whoever was in GoldenEye,
Pierce Brosnan,
Pierce Brosnan. It'll have the new
Daniel
guy.
Craig.
Yeah. And I don't think it's going to be the exact same game.
No, it doesn't look like it. They've shown some scenes, and I mean, it's been a while since I played it, but I don't remember some of the stuff I saw in that trailer. I was like, that.
I think they did specifically announce they were adding stuff to it
Yeah.
and
They
taking
give a
some
release
stuff
date
out,
for
so-
that because they're probably going to release it somewhere around the same time the next
Well, not
Bond
only
movie
that,
comes out.
There isn't going to be a next Bond movie for a while because I think MGM went out of business or something like
they're
that. So
they're bankrupt.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
Until somebody picks up the rights or
Well,
they
yeah,
come out of
'cause
bankruptcy.
nobody's going to actually buy the rights for James Bond, right?
well, MGM still owns them. owns the right. So
And then the other thing with that though,
Depends if they have reorganization.
I mean, here it is.
capability.
This is probably like the most legendary FPS in the history of video game consoles.
oh, funny, I didn't know its name was Doom.
And I said in the history of video game consoles, dick face.
Okay.
All right. Listen closely. But, and they're putting it on.
I have chicken.
Yeah, we noticed. And they're putting it on a console that's the worst for FPSs. Thank you very much.
Really?
Yeah, the Wii. I mean, if you're gonna play with the Wiimote, fuck that. And then the Wii classic controller isn't really good for FPSs either.
Come on, they can make another they can make another controller to stick your Wiimote inside.
yeah.
'Cause it's all it needs is another gun
Yeah,
controller.
because all it
no,
needs
they're-
is another tennis racket / fishing pole /
No, they're gonna
No, it's gonna be the Walter PPK insert.
/ jackhammer, whatever the fuck they make.
no for the hardcore fans. They're gonna come out with an adapter for your Nintendo 64 controller. You watch. People are adamant that they can't play first-person shooters without their Nintendo 64 controller.
Well, then they
Okay.
they suck. So.
Well,
they
you know
do.
what? You can play the Wavebird on there.
Yeah, you can.
I got one. They work great on there.
It does. So next up, all sorts of Wii games coming for E3. Let's see what's on my list here. Zelda Skyward Sword, Donkey Kong Country Returns, Kirby's Epic Yarn, and Epic Mickey were the ones that were really kind of notable. Everything
Pretty much
else
covered all the classics, I guess.
Although Epic Mickey looked kind of.
Epic Mickey looks really cool, actually. I
But-
saw that I was reading that article in Game Informer like 4 or 5 months ago, and they showed the screenshots.
You didn't
it looks
include
pretty
Kid
cool.
Icarus in this?
Well, Kid Icarus is on the 3DS.
Yeah, it's gonna be on the 3DS.
So Zelda was, I'll buy Zelda. Donkey Kong Country, it's like, fucking minecart level. I ain't gonna buy it.
I wish they'd bring out another bongo game. Those are so much fun.
Oh,
No, I mean there's nothing on that list that, with the exception of Zelda, that truly interests me. And I don't own a Wii. I don't plan on buying a Wii. There's just too much crap on the Wii for me. I mean, yeah, there's crap on the other systems too. But every time I go to like a game store and I look at what's up on the wall and I see like all the crap on the Wii, I just
Well, there's like 9 crappy kids games to every one good game on
Yeah,
there. But then you
exactly.
find something like Tatsunoko
Exactly.
versus Capcom.
I'm thinking the
and that's
ratio is
exception.
probably a lot larger for the Wii. There's a ton of shovelware on that system.
yeah, there's it.
They're like the new 2600.
Well, yeah, exactly. It got so popular that companies that didn't even know how to make games were putting out games where going, oh, this is a popular system. People will buy our shit. And
But
like,
you can
no.
tell those companies because their games release $4.99 and $9.99 new. They just can't get rid of them at the store.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the 3DO has a better quality of titles, then you know you're doing something wrong.
Ugh.
So next up, Sony debuts Killzone 3 and a new Twisted Metal title.
Wait. What is Killzone?
Killzone.
That's
a
a
fishing
Final
adventure.
Fantasy, and
No, it's a fishing adventure.
It uses the fishing controller from the Dreamcast.
yeah, it's a Final Fantasy 11 sequel.
Yeah, but it's all about your character just fishing. Yes.
Yes.
Killzone.
That totally, I believe that Square Enix would totally make that game.
You got to
Of course
manage.
they would.
You
And
got to
people would
manage
fucking
yourself
buy it.
on the
and
tour.
here's the
and-
thing. And even though it's a fishing game, it would be played with nothing but drop-down menus.
Yeah, it'll be all turn-based.
Well, yeah, cast. Okay, you don't have enough points to cast.
You do not have an interrupt remaining this round.
Yeah. Well, I need to get some more points. I'll fall asleep in the boat. Okay. So, Twisted
Metal looked pretty cool. I saw the video. I watched the little half-hour thing they did on it. It looks pretty. It looks like a lot of fun.
I want to know what prompted them to drag Twisted Metal out of the coffin that it's been in for 10 years.
We don't have any other IPs
I
to
don't
go
think
on.
there's
Yeah.
anything else out there to really compete with it because what was the last thing I played was Vigilante 8,
Yeah,
which was
Vigilante-
really cool.
Well,
but
it's because it's by the makers of Twisted Metal. So.
yeah, I think it was a
Was
better
that-
game.
That was after Black?
Yeah. Actually, well, there was 2. There was Vigilante 8 2 also. That came after Black.
Well, like 2 and 3 and I think even 4 were made by a different studio that made the first one. Or maybe
Twisted
I
Metal
think it
2
was
was
3 and 4
really
because I
good.
3
stopped
and
playing
4,
it
yeah.
after 2. 2 was the last
like
good
3,
one.
Yeah,
2 was a really fun game.
yeah. And then the originators came back and made Black, and then they went on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Black
so-
just didn't do it for me.
No,
I think
it didn't.
that's.
I
think I
everybody
kind of
told me
lost
it was-
sight
It
of
didn't
it.
feel like the...
Everybody told me it was a great game, and I bought it and I played it, and I was bored with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Twisted Metal. I'm sure Sony can go back to some older titles if they, run out of ideas. So if you're waiting for that sequel to Loaded for the
Yet another battle
PlayStation
arena
3.
to a Shinden.
No, we need a sequel to Fantagraphics.
Fantagraphics.
Yeah, you remember that thing that came out on the PS2? It wasn't even a game. It was just
no,
like
no, it's Fantavision.
or whatever.
Fantavision.
Yeah, it was the firework game.
It wasn't a game. It was like a screensaver.
Yeah, well, you had to set them off in combinations and make chains.
It was like a screensaver. Yeah, but it never. You could let it run. It was like a screensaver for your PS2.
We need another Bard's Tale game.
Yeah. So
No. We need another. Fuck. I don't know.
Cyber Sled.
Oh, what was that one that came out on the Dreamcast? Oh man,
Seaman.
no, Sewer Shark
Shut up.
You mean on the Sega CD?
or Sega. Yeah,
Yeah, they
oh,
can.
God.
They can
Yeah. We need a sequel to that.
CNC Music Factory.
That crisscross game. Yeah.
You can make your own video with Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Get some good vibrations.
Actually, that would be the opposite of awesome.
Unawesome.
Sure.
So next up, Sony Move, the PS3 motion controller, dated and priced. So it comes out on September 19th.
Man, the collective meh
Yeah.
about the Sony presentation
Yeah.
was epic. I mean, there wasn't a single news outlet that was like, that was kind of interesting. They were all like, wow, that was really a lot less than we thought they were going to do.
It was
Yeah.
Yeah, and you noticed
it was very lukewarm.
the Kinect got a lot more coverage than Sony Move.
It's because the Microsoft put on a really good show for their presentation.
Where, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, Sony's presentation was very boring.
Well, what did Sony have to offer game wise too? I mean, I didn't see it. and I just-
GT5.
No,
Yeah.
for the Move.
Oh, I don't know.
Exactly. There's nothing that you remember them doing for the Move. It was just like, oh, here's a peripheral. Yeah, we're gonna do something with this down the road.
It kind of works with the iToy too.
Yeah. Which, yeah, how many people have an iToy?
Yeah.
Yeah, and in true Sony style, they've come up with like a bunch of bundles and everything for this. And my note is, can Sony release just one thing instead of having 3 billion SKUs for everything? I mean, seriously.
Well, this
there's
is
like
another
3 different
Sony
bundles for
idea
this.
that they just throw a lot of money behind and just do nothing with in the end result, and they just have nothing to show for it other than the finished product itself. But there's nothing to go with it or get you excited about it.
It's just really weird that they can't get their asses together on
I
the PS3.
can't believe how long it's taken them. And it's not just in the video game market. I mean, you look at the mini discs that came out for them years ago. I mean, they just put all this money behind a new technology, just hoping. I mean, up until Blu-ray, they were just doing this every 2 or 3 years. They were throwing something new out there, proprietary, that they were just praying the public would jump on and accept, and that we never do because it's way too expensive in the beginning, and it just doesn't serve enough need.
What's really a pain in the ass is a lot of the formats they put out get adopted fairly quickly in like pro audio and pro video. So then you've got, all these different formats on the pro side that nobody's using on the consumer side. You're like,
Well, yeah.
who the fuck still uses this?
It's like Betamax. I mean, some hospitals still use Betamax because it's such high quality VHS, but nobody at home will ever use that again.
there's a lot of
Nobody
newer
at home
versions
uses
of Betamax.
VHS either. Okay?
Exactly. Well, that's just the point, though. Even back when people were using VHS, the hospitals were still Betamax.
Now, wait a minute. My kinetoscope's still working real well. So,
Sony, when will you learn? And
speaking,
then when will you do something with that learning?
speaking about Sony, a premium PSN service has been detailed, dubbed PlayStation Plus. Sony states that it will provide users with options to expand and enhance their gaming experience, kind of like Viagra.
You know what Sony needs is a new acronym, because this PSN and PSP shit is just getting way too confusing.
Yeah. So basically what they have is the options will include early access to demos and priority invitations to game betas, exclusive digital content, themes, blah, 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 blah. It'll be available later this month at $49.99 for a year or 3 months for $17.99, which...
Okay. I don't know who they're trying to fool here. Here's the thing. I have been on Xbox Live since 2004 when I was playing Rainbow Six 3 back on the original Xbox.
Yeah.
So I'm a long-time Xbox Live user. There's nothing here. Maybe if there's something to get me excited, I might consider it. There's nothing here to convince me that to one, make the switch from Live, and two, that when I can already play their games for free online, why to pay extra for this? I mean, Live.
Well, they're going to give you a free promotional or previews or exclusive previews to what?
demo. Yeah, they're gonna
Yeah, to what?
Yeah, I know.
You know, it's like
Well, yeah, and like I said,
exclusive to stuff I don't care about.
You know, you can get that special Twisted Metal poster for your PlayStation home. So, you know, there's that.
There is nothing on the. First of all, I mean, I do whenever a game comes out that I can play online, I buy it for the 360 because I already have Xbox Live. I'm not going to buy a second service when I can play it. And they're exclusives. They don't have enough exclusives. I'm not going to want to. Here's the thing. I didn't play Killzone 2. I'm not going to play Killzone 3 because I played it. It didn't excite me in any way. It looks great, and the action to it was pretty intense. But at the same time, there was nothing that really made it stand out to me that I couldn't get in other FPSs.
I don't think they're. I'm granted they would like to be able to pull some of the Xbox crowd over, but I don't think they planned for that. I think they're looking more for people that are going to buy the PS3, and now it's giving them some place to start. People that don't have an Xbox
Right,
because they know they're not going to get that crowd.
It's never going to be successful. I mean, first of all, PSN sucks anyway.
Yeah.
And then to top it off, I mean, if they're trying to like steal people away, it's not going to work. They're going to look at this and see it's not worth it.
Is the adoption rate for the PS3 any good anyway? I mean, is it even on the map for in terms of sales figures?
Not here. I mean, they have a little tiny piece of the pie in Japan, but I
mean,
don't think
really,
it even shows up on the scanner.
I think
Well,
the
and in
Xbox
Japan-
360 is outselling the PS3 in Japan.
And in Japan, online gaming is not a big thing in Japan. They want to play their games with fucking drop-down menus and and androgynous emo boys. So
I think that's a big thing that killed it for the PS3 overseas too, was the fact that they lost a lot of their exclusives, or the big exclusives that were just for them for so long that
it
started
didn't help
popping
that
up on the Xbox.
It didn't help that on the system launch, the PlayStation cost like $2 million.
$5.99.
And there were like seven. I mean, within a year and a half, there were like 7 SKUs for the damn thing.
When they said there was only going to be one.
Yeah, and it totally negates all the advantages that they would have from typically from a console. They have totally squandered. It's like, but you guys have released 2 consoles before that did pretty damn well. So what? Did you like get all replaced with jelly beans, or what's the deal?
I think they just got full of themselves. They thought, you know what?
They got cocky.
We're the number one company, nobody can touch us. So they thought that, as long as they slapped the name PlayStation on something, people were going to buy it.
Well, they're following that same thing that they always do. They just put their name on it. They charge the highest possible price, and they expect people to slap the money down.
Everybody does that, though. But, okay, Atari, this is something Atari fell victim to, and this is Nintendo did it. They said, with the Super Nintendo was doing great, and they figured, we'll just slap our name on the Nintendo 64 and everybody will buy it. And, and now Sony's done the same thing. It's just a continuous cycle. Every company, I think they get a little too big for their britches and start to think, as long as we put out a device and slap our name on it,
I think Nintendo was they were so behind the curve for so long, though. They just didn't want to make that jump to a CD, so the next logical step was just a different type of cartridge.
So
it's unfortunate, but
yeah.
You look at the Cube. I mean, they finally jumped to a CD, but what do? They make it a mini CD. It's like they still can't fully jump in the lake. They got to get halfway up,
Well, they were still a little shaky on the CD thing. They weren't sure if it was actually going to, pan out. So they had to be a little cautious.
What, by 2003?
Yeah.
So we're just going to make
It only been out for
CD.
20 years or so. It's
They were just being careful.
Oh, God.
So next up, OnLive went live on June 15th. Also, this is still a thing.
And nobody has said any. I haven't seen a damn article about this.
Yeah.
I saw articles before the launch of people going, "Yeah, but what about the lag?" And then a bunch of people that were. I mean, I often on internet forums present a not so popular opinion on topics.
Tell us about Mega Tokyo again.
Yeah, but so I'm loath to call people astroturfers. But some of these guys that were posting up like, "Oh no, it's just fine." I'm like, do you live in an alternate universe where physics works different? Because you're not going to be playing Unreal, 2007, any Twitch shooters on a service like that. You could play Civilization 4, but nothing that requires you to have any sort of reaction time. Oh no, it's just fine. Okay.
I've heard so little about OnLive. I think more of OnStar when I hear the name.
It's
I
it's
wonder
not.
what kind of
I mean,
services they offer.
We
for your
see that
road.
your video game console has sucked. We're going to send some technicians out
I
there
don't
right
even
now.
know what it is actually. So
it's the Phantom again.
really, oh okay.
They're trying
it's
to sell
playing-
you games online.
Yeah, it's
basically.
a thin client that you can play games on, and it doesn't process it locally. It just sends you the image over the network.
Imagine being able to stream games instead of having to have a physical copy of it.
Why the fuck would I want to do that?
Well, that's a good question.
I mean, I can understand downloading a game, but streaming a game?
Yeah,
Well,
and
the argument is that the folks that have like netbooks could play games, but I'm like, I'm going to play a game on an 8-inch laptop screen. I don't think so.
Hey, my netbook has a 10.1 screen.
Oh well, that changes everything.
oh yeah.
You might be the target audience for OnLive.
Plus, you have to buy a box for OnLive.
Well, it's like
which is
Stream where stuff goes slower.
Oh, you know what? Now that I think about it, okay, I know what you guys are talking about. I actually EGM, who just came back. They have an article about it. Now I remember reading about it. Okay, yeah. Never mind.
There's
Yeah,
nothing
it's
else to
pretty
say.
much everybody's.
It's
I read
already
the
been
article
said.
and I was just like, huh?
Yeah.
So I know what the Photoshop of this podcast will be. It'll be OnLive, but instead of having a picture of OnLive, I'll just have a picture of the cartridge that was used for the Sega channel.
Yeah,
It's pretty much the same thing. So,
they took all the mystery out of this. Me wondering what the podcast image is going to be now.
well,
I look forward to that.
it was either that or neckbeards. I don't
Yeah.
know what else to go off.
neckbeards in the wild. Just have to find a whole herd of them walking down the
Down, just go
guys
to
with cattle prods, keeping them in the aisle.
just go to PAX.
Yeah,
There'll be hundreds of neckbeards there.
there's no booth babes at PAX.
Oh yeah, that's
So.
right. Because women are to evils. LOL.
There's something scary.
Silent Hill 8 for PS3 and Xbox 360. There are 8 of these.
You know, I was just reading that line, and then I saw at the end, and I was thinking the same exact thing. Like, how the fuck did it get to 8?
Maybe they're counting the movie.
Well, there's. well, no, I know there's one.
I don't
two,
think you should be counting the movie for anything.
I know of 5 at least. I know there's 1.
Exactly. I can
2,
stop at like
3,
5, but I'm like 8.
Well, there was Silent
The
Hill.
Room, Homecoming, and that's it. I can.
So there was Silent
Are
Hill.
they making this shit up? Did they just
No.
skip like
Maybe
3
there was some like
numbers?
Japanese only ones like Resident Evil 0 and shit like that.
No,
It's
there's
like the Code Veronica.
no, there's Silent Hill, Citizens on Patrol, Silent Hill, Operation Miami Beach,
Silent Hill Miami, Silent Hill New York, Silent Hill Criminal Intent.
Silent Hill, Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, Silent Hill, the Vincent D'Onofrio story.
Yeah. Keep going.
Is this the Ocho?
yes,
Yes, Silent Hill Ocho. Yes.
and it'll have a picture of Herbie the Love Bug on it.
All
See,
right.
that should be your thing. It should be like one of the evil nurses in Herbie the Love Bug.
It could.
Yeah.
So
Whatever.
Silent Hill Electric Boogaloo. So next up, Saints Row 3 will be unveiled December
That's a
2010.
fast turnaround for
It-
that. Well, I mean,
well,
it's been
What-
it'll be 2 years
well,
by
wait,
December. I
What
suppose.
does that mean? Unveiled.
Uh,
Are they just
Unveiled or released?
Are they going to open the prison door and
released.
Released.
Released. They didn't even show off the game at.
They
That's
announced
I
That's
know that.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, they make good games, but that's a lot. That's a fast turnaround from the last.
It
It's
is
not
a
like
fast
they need
turnaround,
to
but-
make an engine for the game.
Well,
Well, not only that. I mean, here's the thing. When Saints Row 2 came out, what's the name of the company that put it? Or not the company, the team of Volition, I think. They said that Saints Row 3 was going to be an entirely different game than the last two. Because the last two were, they were GTA clones. But I will say this, first of all, Saints Row 2 is so much more fun than GTA 4. You don't have to worry about your cousin calling you up and saying, let's go look at some American titties.
that was
and,
funny the first 2 times, and
Yeah.
you're like, "Fucking go see your own titties."
yeah. Or, that one guy who calls up and he's depressed the whole time. It's like, yeah, you killed that kid who was going to kill me.
Rastakai calls you up and wants to play pool.
Yeah. Saints Row 2 was so much more fun. I mean, they have a mission where you can drive a sewage tank and spray raw sewage all over the citizens of Stillwater.
It's like the police academy of
And not only
you
that-
know
and
GTA.
as you're doing it, you get commentary from the person driving the truck. So you're like, I hope they like scat play.
Yeah, it was a lot more fun.
Yeah, it's such. So I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to it. But yeah, that's quick.
Yeah.
But there's something
Whatever.
even quicker than that. So
What, Left 4 Dead 3?
no. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we're getting to
We're
that.
getting to that next up, yeah.
So, which actually that's our next one because Ubisoft shows off a bunch of stuff at E3, and that includes Ghost Recon Future Soldier,
Oh, yeah.
Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and a new Rayman for some reason.
Future Soldier is going to be the shit. That game looks so cool.
Oh,
I can't wait to play that.
Fuck Ghost Recon. I need another Rainbow Six game is what I need. So
Well, we all would love that, but I think Future Soldier is going to
So
be
is
a lot
Tom
of fun.
Clancy just sitting at Ubisoft just compiling code?
you
Kid-
remember-
he probably doesn't even know how these games work.
No,
he
he
doesn't
hasn't
know
been
it.
in their
He's-
studio in
you
probably a
remember-
decade.
You remember in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Gus Van Sant, he's sitting in the back of the set and he's just counting money. That's Tom Clancy.
Okay.
Yeah, except he has somebody counting it for him because he's so old now he can't handle money.
How old is that guy now?
He's in his 70s. I think he's like late 70s.
He could probably still count his own money.
Well, he probably has goons to do it for him.
No, he's got like tactical guys that actually count the money for him.
He's got black ops
with a covering
guys. They have
a cover system. One of the guy covers while the other guy counts.
Inside of his submarine.
yeah, they're wearing the goggles while they're counting the money.
He's got his own, Red October that he's dubbed, and it's.
I really would like to see another Rainbow Six revamp or Raven Shield, but this is as close as it gets right now. And the fact that you can get 4 people in there and just play.
Didn't all the Raven
it's gonna
Shields
be a lot of
suck?
fun. Oh God, no! Some of those were awesome games.
I just don't care for the franchise myself. I prefer Rainbow Six. I prefer the way Rainbow Six plays.
I don't know. I really liked the first Ghost Recon that came out. It had some really weird glitches where enemies could shoot you through the corner of a building that just ticked me off. But the game itself was really pretty and it was fun to play. And I just wish they could have kept going with it. But they kind of went a different direction with 2 and 3. So this is kind of going back to what I wanted to have.
Now, isn't Ghost Recon like that TV show where these people go into haunted places and?
No, you're thinking the Ghost Whisperer that had that chick who was going to be in Playboy, but then she got a new job.
Oh
And she's not in Playboy.
yeah. That was unfortunate. So
Keep going.
all right, I tried to make a joke, but didn't play out.
You have to let it. You gotta.
Yes.
It's all about the delivery.
Oh, okay. Says the
That's right, Murdock.
says the
So-
comic master right.
So Murdock,
maybe you
Murdock,
should have
take
fed
a break and go work on your delivery.
Okay.
Maybe you should have FedExed it.
So
You used Airborne Express, didn't you? Didn't you know they were out of business?
What the? Oh my God!
Hey, if it fits, it ships.
hey, I thought DHL was still in business.
Yeah, it's called FedEx Ground.
it is. So
That
child
was
of
actually RPS.
Was it really?
Yeah, Roadway Packaging Service. They became FedEx Ground.
well, thank you for listening to
Goddamn research.
For shipping radio.
Yeah. Next time we'll go over the different types of bubble pack. So, Child of Eden, spiritual successor to Rez, but unfortunately it's for the Kinect.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't care. Seriously, you know how I feel about Rez.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I don't
think
know.
It's boring.
Oh, it's to spiritual successor to Rez. Well,
Yes.
that means it could be anything.
Well, it could.
I mean,
Could be this-
literally, it could be anything.
Yeah, so it could be a glow stick flying through more glow sticks.
Who the hell knows what it is?
Yeah,
So.
who cares?
Rage. EA published id Software game mixing first-person shooter with driving game. Wait, what?
I'm curious about that.
I mean,
So
yeah,
it's-
I'll take a look. It's
So it's
it.
first
I mean,
person road blasters.
Could be fun. I love Road Blasters. I had a lot of money on that game.
Well, we'll give it a shot.
Now
I
wait
mean,
a
it's-
minute. We
it's-
haven't
it's
seen it. We haven't
so-
seen a 3D version of Stun Runner yet. That would be kind of cool.
3D Stun Runner was 3D. You doorknob.
No, it wasn't. So, any
It was after he had too much mellow yellow.
I have to go with him on that one. You're a knob.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
true
concur.
3D with 3D glasses and stuff. But do you have any interest in Rage?
Don't even know what the hell it is.
Yeah, it's just kind of a curiosity right now.
It's first person and it's id. So I mean, everybody's gonna at least want
There's
to
gonna
take
be
a look.
demons involved at some point.
I mean, these
Is
are
there
guys
an
who
id
gave
game
us
that isn't?
Doom and Wolfenstein.
gonna
Will
be-
you fire him out your exhaust pipes?
It's gonna be some sort of hell, and Mars will be involved in some way.
Will I have hell inside my headers?
Is there a game?
The Rock will be in there somewhere.
Yes. You go next to demons and you have to perform wrestling moves on them.
Yeah.
Yep, you have to hit him with the people's elbow.
Hey, it's the most electrifying move in sports entertainment.
Chris
Sports
Jericho.
and
That's the
entertainment.
name of that guy I was trying. He's doing like a bunch of VH1 classic stuff now.
Actually, he's got a game show on ABC where he's the host now called
Really?
Downfall.
because he's doing a lot of hosting type stuff. And I was looking at him. We were watching him on VH1 Classic. I'm like, Fuck, I cannot remember this guy's name, and I just remembered it
And
now.
Doesn't he do a commentary for CBS, or he does
No. And
That's
no.
not the same MTV guy I'm thinking of. I
Is
think
it?
there's a Chris somebody that
This
used
is,
to be on MTV.
we're talking about a pro wrestler.
No,
who
he's a
does it.
wrestler.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was.
And his band sucks too.
Yeah, his band does suck. He's a big metal guy, but he can't play metal. very
Yeah,
well.
he's got a metal band called Fozzy, and they suck.
It's kind of like Keanu Reeves' band sucks too.
He has a band.
He does.
Yeah.
Why?
Okay. Because everybody wants to be in a band.
Everybody
Murdock.
wants to be in a band, even though you're rolling in $1 million.
Ever since Kevin
walk
Bacon
down,
started it.
the streets and pull chicks like
Yeah, but
nobody's
Keanu Reeves
business.
was already in a band, Wild Stallions.
Yeah, I know. Why
Well-
what else would he need?
Yeah.
You would think that would satiate him.
Yeah.
Satiate?
Close enough. All right, moving on.
All right. So our last bit of news: how's Jumpgate Evolution coming along?
I don't know. It looks like it's pretty badass.
Yeah.
Though, I got to wonder. I was watching the combat stuff that they had on it. It doesn't look like, and they didn't say anything about it, so I wonder if they took it out of the game, which would piss off a lot of the people that have been following that game for a long time. It doesn't look like they have true 3D maneuvering in the demo, and that would piss off a lot of people because that was one of the things that they really liked about it.
So what would it have if it doesn't have true
Well,
3D?
like pilot controls, basically.
It looked cool. I mean,
It looked cool, but it's if it doesn't have the option to turn off assisted navigation, it's going to piss off a lot of people.
Who was it that sent us news about this game after the last podcast?
That was Matt.
Oh,
Well, he sent us the thing about it, about them saying, "Oh, by the way, we need to rewrite the whole damn thing," and you're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's never good." And then, what are you looking at there, Brian?
Oh, just looking for other news items.
he's actually texting and ignoring us. So.
I see.
well, we're
Well,
not,
it looked pretty. I mean, they only showed half of one mission, but I mean, it looked reasonably okay.
Yeah, no, it looked great. Actually, they showed it on G4. G4 who gave E3 4 hours of coverage each day.
Well, it's the only time they have
Yeah.
original programming. Really, is when there's a
They
conference.
were actually
going
doing
on.
like
Yeah.
3 blocks over
Well,
the
it
course
was
of the
it was
day.
either that or
so-
6 hours of cheaters. So
no, it was
cops.
It was 8 hours of
Campus
Ninja
cops.
Warrior.
Do they still play Ninja Warrior on G4?
Yeah,
actually, they have an American version now.
Oh, for
The
Christ's
new
sake.
Ninja Warrior course is pretty awesome, though.
it's
Anyways,
It's
getting
to
back
I
to
liked
the-
their Comic-Con coverage was really cool last year.
Yeah, and
I like
so,
the,
so was their
Adult Expo is
yeah.
pretty cool, too.
their Adult Entertainment Expo coverage is always pretty cool.
and is relevant to your interests.
Well, I mean, hot chicks who actually take off their clothes for money. Yeah, of course, you'll get my attention at least for 15 to 20 minutes.
Man,
And then football.
No,
then a beer.
Yeah. No, it's World Cup soccer for you, isn't
fuck
it?
you, man.
What's up, Bri?
Let's get back on track.
Okay.
Yeah,
Or
do some
not.
moderating.
Yeah,
Do some moderating there, Murdock.
yeah. Come in here and ban us. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we are at an hour now, unless you want to add something else.
You,
to the
you have
podcast.
you have a
Tons of
topic
stuff.
there.
Yeah. What
Oh,
the
yeah.
fuck, man?
What's
Come
your
on.
topic?
My topic is, what did you do during your summer vacation?
Yeah.
And please include a macaroni sculpture as well.
And a baking soda and vinegar volcano.
Yes. So was there anything at E3 that really, really impressed you? And it wasn't the G4 coverage, that's for sure. That thing was...
Yeah, what's her name in it?
Morgan Webb. Yes.
Actually, I'm kind of excited what they're doing with Rock Band 3. You can have up to 8 people playing on it now.
It has
That
a fucking keyboard on it now that actually has and it has like 88 buttons on it.
The
So
guitar.
it's like, what the hell?
Well, it's got a lot of buttons on it though. The MIDI Stratocaster that you can use, that's a pretty cool thing.
Is that something you're going to buy, though?
That's not
I
the
don't
one
know
that-
if I will,
yeah.
but there's a lot of people that better put their money where their mouth is, because for like a million versions of Guitar Hero and Rock Band now, they've been bitching that it's not like playing a real guitar.
Yeah.
And if it was like playing a real guitar, they would totally play it. There's going to be about 5 million people buying that fucking Stratocaster if they actually put their money where their mouth is. Which means they'll sell about 4 of them.
Yeah.
Apparently, you can.
It'll sell
play-
more than DJ Hero.
Apparently, you can have 5 main people, and you can have 2 backup singers and a 3rd vocalist on top of that.
So my question is, where are you going to find a place to put all this crap in?
Well, see, that's the interesting thing is the microphones don't actually have to be associated with a controller now. In fact, they're completely independent, and they just pick up when you play with them. They don't actually have to have a physical controller connected to them. So you can actually have 3 or 4 mics in the game at the same time.
Interesting.
You can actually sing, have backup in the back, or you can
a lot
have
of
somebody
people.
singing on top.
But I mean, if they're trying to expand on the party game thing, that's totally what
I
you
think
got
it's
to do.
totally cool. Having more than one singer is probably the one biggest thing they didn't have in Rock
Yeah,
Band
now
2 that
now
they
you can do
needed.
duets. So now you can do now you can
Well,
have
it
somebody
made
do.
sense.
It
Now you
did-
can have somebody do Ebony and Ivory. Yeah,
Yeah,
It
and they
made
did
sense
in,
after
that was
doing
a joke.
Beatles.
Nobody wants to do fucking Ebony and Ivory.
That's racist.
Go fuck yourself.
It made sense after doing
Beatles.
Rock Band Beatles. I
Yeah,
mean,
that
it's
was
like they were going to
Well, yeah,
get rid
because
of
it had the
so,
harmonizing. So
Yeah. Now all they need to do is add in the dancing thing, and you'd be all set. That'll be Rock Band 4.
yeah,
You have the backup dancers.
yeah. Now we added. Yeah, we added.
Well,
4
now
more
they
spots.
they can do it with the Kinect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we added 4 more spots. Now now you need DDR pads as well to play.
Well,
the game.
and you need a 72-inch TV to handle all the little things too.
Yeah.
And then comes with a special mode where you can play out the life of your favorite rock star, including being snubbed at the Grammys and dying of a heroin overdose.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or like Nikki Sixx and almost dying of a heroin overdose 3 times.
Yeah.
No, it's South Park. Yeah, heroin.
And at the end
you
of
chase the dragon, but you never catch him.
and at the end of Rock Band 3, they have like a picture of your character avatar, and it's like behind the music for VH1.
Yeah. Did anybody see the demo for Naughty Bears?
Was this a porn film?
No,
it
it's
looked fucking hilarious, though.
yeah, I know what he's talking about. I've seen it.
It was actually like basically like a first-person shooter, but you go around and you're a bear and you go around trying to kill people creatively.
Yeah, it's
but the bonus doesn't come from you just killing them. It comes from another bear witnessing you kill them. That's what your points spike up from. So,
yeah, but it's a game. The game. They're kind of like Care Bearish looking, I guess, is what I want to say. But yeah, they're
till they're bashing the stuffing.
There's one bear who's really like all the other bears are like Care Bears, but then you're the naughty bear who likes like fucking with the other bears and playing pranks on them and like beating them up. Here's the thing though, even though the game sounds really violent, it's supposedly not supposed to look violent because the bears are all stuffed bears, so they're full of stuffing. You don't see any blood or anything. So.
Even when you're coming down on one with a chainsaw.
Who did this game?
I can't remember. I can't even remember where I saw it.
So, any game that you saw at E3 that you must have, and of course for me, it's going to be Castlevania, not the 3D one.
Yeah,
the
that's
2D
looking
one.
really interesting. I'm
Was it-
curious to
What,
see.
Lord of Shadows?
No.
Oh, what?
Harmony of Dissonance?
Yeah.
No.
That-
Actually,
it's 2D.
actually, I was more interested in Lord of Shadow myself. So
No, Harmony of
I-
Despair.
Yeah. Well, there's a 2D Castlevania that's coming out in like a month for Xbox Live Arcade and PSN, which I'm interested in because it's 2D and 2D is awesome. Lords of Shadow, yeah.
Harmony of Despair is going to be interesting because I want to see 6 people playing online together going through a level. That's just going to be crazy.
I'm very wary of the 3D Castlevania because the other 2 have sucked. So I'm kind of like,
The Harmony of Despair is the 2D one.
I will say, they showed off Metal Gear Solid Rising. I don't know what to think of it so far. I mean, it was
Yeah, it was weird.
You definitely saw a lot of action. I mean, you saw people getting cut in half left and right.
And
so
that freeze frame where you could cut
yeah.
a guy and then stop and like,
yeah.
and then
So
see his
it
body
looked
split
interesting.
up.
I mean, I think I definitely have to play it before I can make a judgment on it.
Yeah.
I mean, the one of all the trailers shown, the one that excited me the most, easily Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. I'm sorry, but that was
end
such.
piece where he just picked up the axe and flung it like 30 feet into that night was freaking awesome too.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's not the trailer to Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
No, not the trailer, but in the actual gameplay,
Oh,
they
when
showed
they
him
showed
up
the
on the
game.
edge,
Oh, okay.
and he was finished fighting 5 guys around him, and there's a knight that comes running from like 30 feet away, and he just picks up the axe and pulls it overhead and throws it and just takes the guy out.
That's pretty cool.
I'm like,
actually.
that should have been in the first one.
The actually, and it wasn't like it showed a lot of like really crazy improvement types of stuff, but it just looked really polished. Was the Gears of War 3.
And the Assassin's Creed is going to have a multiplayer option too, where that's good. They didn't really say much about that during that, but I don't know. Sounds kind of interesting.
And then the Halo Reach trailer was pretty badass. Actually, I will
I
say.
didn't see that much.
I don't think I saw it either.
Yeah,
When
I think I
you
missed it.
What?
Halo Reach.
The Halo Reach stuff.
When they show the scene where you actually jump into a freaking
Oh yeah, I did
rocket
see
ship,
that, and you
right?
can actually fly
and
the
you fly the spaceship around and blast the shit out of Covenant.
Oh yeah,
So
you're
that-
up in orbit, right?
Yeah,
Or
so
like
that
almost
looked
orbit.
pretty
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, for me, I'm not an MMO guy. I played World of Warcraft for about like 5 months. I stopped playing because, well, it's actually, surprising enough, it's a social game, and when you can't play with other people, it gets really boring, actually.
Yeah.
So I don't play World of Warcraft anymore, but and I'm a huge Star Wars fan, regardless of the prequels.
So you're going to pick up Aeon?
No, so Force Unleashed looked awesome, but that's because Force Unleashed, the original, best use of Force powers in any Star Wars game ever. I
think that game was just designed around that whole idea. Was
just
to use
yeah.
Force.
I know people complain about it. I loved it. I mean, just the stuff you could do with the Force powers, the Force bubble, Force lightning, I can't wait to see Unleashed 2.
The trailer for the Star Wars MMO was really freaking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
that
then
was amazing.
and then because, like I said, and that's what I was about to get to, and and once again, because I'm a Star Wars fan, Old Republic looks really good. I mean,
I like the customization of it. It looked like you could change a lot of stuff and come up with some really neat
And then,
outfits, and you could go one of two different ways.
and then BioWare announced at E3 that every character was going to have his own spaceship, so you're
Yeah.
going to be able to travel from planet to planet.
And I liked how they showed the difference from character to character. They all four different types they had in the
Well,
video could
There's
actually
actually
contribute.
there's actually 6 for each side.
Hopefully
There's
they
Sith
learn from
Empire. There's Sith Empire and Old Republic.
Hopefully they learned from the mistakes that Star Wars Galaxy made. That's all I can
I
say.
think they're really trying to put that away.
Yeah, well,
They're trying to erase
remember,
that.
This is a different team, and this is
It is, but I mean, it wasn't like Star Wars Galaxy started out great and they started fucking with it. So
What, Sony Online bottom?
no, even after that, they were
No, it
fucking
would have been
with them.
killed outright if they've been fine. I didn't see that much advertising for Gears of War 3.
It was right like very at the beginning.
Was it? Okay, I must have missed that.
They had
'cause
a
it just
couple
seemed
guys
like it
up
was
there
real
playing
low
around.
key.
and obviously,
Yeah, I just saw some in-game footage, but there wasn't that much other than that.
And-
Yeah, I mean, it just looked more like more polished Gears,
And-
which is fine with me.
supposedly this is the last Gears game. I mean,
Supposedly,
Well,
the
he said, yeah, it was
franchise
a
may
trilogy.
continue, but this is the last Gears game. You never
the
know.
last Phoenix
just
game.
like Halo 3 was the last Halo game. I'm sure eventually Microsoft will resurrect Master Chief in a new
yeah.
in a franchise with a new title or something.
I am really looking forward to the 4-player option for Gears 3.
Could be
That'd
cool.
be really
I mean,
interesting.
Oh, they're finally going to do a 4-player.
Co-op.
Yeah.
It's about fucking time.
Yeah.
Because sometimes there are so many times, I mean, hell, we beat Gears 2 together.
Yeah.
There was a couple times where you and I were pinned down, and would have helped to have had like a third person there who could have like provided some covering for
Well,
us.
it's
Well,
just
that's
weird that
dumb.
they did.
I mean, come on.
Well, the co-op.
No, he stands up and takes the shots.
Yeah. The co-op game, the co-op thing for video games really has sort of become a priority just in the last couple of years. For
Yeah,
net
it started with
developers,
PC.
It
because
really,
PC
but-
really
and
needed
believe
it.
me, it makes a difference. I like, especially in a game where you have a teammate. I like having a teammate that can actually do stuff besides just not the
Draw
orders.
fire.
I
Well, it's not
issue.
just that, but it's the fact you're communicating and you're like,
Yeah.
hey, can you go over there? Can you do this?
Well, no,
and
like
then
in-
you're doing it together.
like Rainbow Six.
Yeah.
Rainbow Six, you command the squad, so you issue commands to the squad. It's awesome that every squad member now is an actual person that you can say, hey, snake that door. Hey, somebody placed a breaching charge on that door, something like that. That is just, it makes the game so much more better.
Okay, I just killed that guy. I need you 3 guys to teabag him.
No, that's not how it works.
That was actually in that PS3 game where you could do 30 on 30 and one guy was a commander.
Mag,
Yeah, that's it. It's like everybody make sure to teabag your targets.
massive action game. Yeah, and you know what? And what happened to that game? Has anybody heard anything about it recently?
No, I kind of died because nobody fucking plays online games on the PS3.
Maybe they should have waited to release that.
Well, they
after...
do, but they don't have headsets, so they can't communicate to each other.
You
Maybe
make
they
it
should
sound
have
like it's a
waited.
bad thing.
Maybe they should have waited to release that until after PlayStation Plus came out.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Well, I mean, and they made a big thing about there being, commanders and these large scale battles and stuff, but the PC's had that for like 10 years now.
Yeah, tribes. Hello.
Yeah, they need to redo a new Tribes,
Oh,
but they probably fucked that up too. So
Tribes was the shit back in the day. I mean, you had like a mile long map.
Who was that?
You'd fly
Sierra,
guys in.
Sierra Online that did Tribes?
they published it.
Yeah, it was somebody else.
Yeah, and I think they're bought by EA now?
I don't know, somebody who's
or
not.
Ubisoft or somebody.
Oh, I just looked it up, and I can't remember what it is now. But yeah, one of the
Yeah.
biggies on this year now.
Awesome. So anything else that interested E3? I looked through all the pictures of the booth babes. I'm like, whatever. Nothing there. Nothing that really interested me. So
Well, of course not. There are women.
it's not what I meant.
Oh,
Anything, Steve?
Nope.
Okay.
Brian,
I think I looked it all up.
Okay.
but you don't want to talk about it.
No, I just talked about everything I looked up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The games that I saw at E3, I already have on my list.
Well,
of
it's
games I'm gonna
E3
pick up
again.
anyway.
It's
I
like,
gotta
you
say
know,
though, this
oh,
this
well.
E3 was. I thought this E3 was rather lackluster myself.
It was better than the previous two.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is a much better.
It was better than
E3
E
last
for
year
all.
and the year
But there was,
before.
I think there were a lot less titles announced at this one. There was a lot less. There was less fanfare, and there were games that were just flat out missing at E3. Where was Arkham Asylum 2?
Where's Huxley?
Okay, now don't you start that again.
Yeah.
That's missing out in space with Jumpgate Evolution.
No, but because I mean that's a huge game, and I remember at the Video Game Awards, they debuted the teaser trailer for it, but they didn't even talk about it one bit there.
Yeah.
You would have thought. I mean, that is
Well, things are kind of weird this year. I mean, like they're putting out Gears of War 3 in April.
Yeah.
I mean, like, huh?
Yeah.
You know?
That makes
Things
no
are
sense
things
either.
are weird this year. I don't know why.
well, the reason. Yeah, but I can understand that because, I mean, that's basically one of Microsoft's flagship titles, and they don't want to release Gears only 2 months after releasing Halo Reach.
The only thing I can think of is they might be trying to retool it, like they're doing with some of these games that are coming out. Like I think Future Soldier is going to have the 3D option, the retrospect, or they have that built-in 3D. Maybe Arkham Asylum is going to try and do that since they did the Game of the Year edition with the 3D built-in. Maybe they decided to revamp that too, and so they didn't want to announce anything until they had that done.
Who knows?
I don't know. I think a lot of games are going to be pushing towards that because that's the newest technology. So it's going to be the next big thing.
it's gonna
games
really
are gonna
annoy me
use.
because there's a lot of
Yeah,
games
I
that
don't-
don't need 3D.
Yeah, just like there's so many movies that don't here's Clash of the Titans that actually not need to be in 3D.
Well,
it wasn't
in
3D,
3D. No.
They didn't
It
actually
was
make
like
it in
2.5D.
3D.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, well, can we add another D on this before we? Sure.
Just give everybody those little glasses when they walk in, and
Yeah, no one needs to see Marmaduke in 3D. I mean, come on.
Give everybody a couple shots before they see it. There, it's 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
that was just the new
Avatar.
cash cow.
Avatar really, really stood out in 3D, and it wasn't gimmicky either. And it really brought the planet of Pandora to life. Just seeing the trees.
Too bad the
and
plot couldn't.
the trees and the shut up, Murdock. The trees and the flowers just stand out. It really gave the whole planet life. Like you felt like you were walking through a real
So,
world.
how much did you like watching Fern Gully in 3D? Because I really want to hear that.
I don't know. I wouldn't watch that piece of shit. So,
I gotta watch Avatar one of these days.
But Fern Gully.
Well,
but anyway,
then you can watch Avatar.
but anyway, no, you obviously haven't watched Avatar, have
So
you,
how's
Murdock?
Dances with Wolves in 3D?
It's not in 3D.
It
But
could
anyway.
be. It will be.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, but anyway, I'm just trying to say, there the 3D really made a difference, and then there's so many stuff doesn't need to be in 3D. What the fuck? Okay?
It doesn't need to be, but it's
And
just more
there's-
money. Yeah.
There's gimmicky stuff too, right? Like,
That
My
one.
Bloody Valentine in 3D. I mean that worked, but that's because of the type of movie it was and what it did. Like
well, if
there's
you
a-
like seeing a human heart.
There's a scene where a guy gets his jaw ripped off and it comes flying at the screen.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, stuff like that. That also makes 3D work. But when
Hey.
it's just
Spoiler warning.
let's just put it in 3D because Avatar made a lot of money and so because it was in 3D. That's not why Avatar made a lot of money. It helped, but and I guess Hollywood's truly out of ideas. So
I don't know. A jaw flying at the screen is cool. It worked for the turtles.
You can do it. You can do it. You can do gimmicky things with horror movies, and it's fine.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
like,
Like
you
said.
hope for
All
gimmicky
right.
things
Yeah,
with horror
like
movies.
Jaws 3D, Friday the 13th 3D. Yeah, that stuff works, and that's
But
okay.
it didn't work that well back then, or other things would have jumped on the bandwagon. It's just kind of a once in a while thing.
Right,
Now
yeah.
everybody's throwing.
Well, they
But I
haven't
don't-
done
into
it.
it.
They haven't done 3D as a craze in
I
like
don't-
25 years.
I don't
Yeah, that's
need
about time.
I don't need 3D gaming. I really don't need Halo in 3D. I don't need Gears of War in 3D.
I can't say
I
we
need nothing
don't-
in 3D until it's actually a neural interface. if you
Get a
can get to
plug
that
in like
point,
Johnny Mnemonic
yeah,
or what?
exactly. Until they have that, I don't need 3D. Until I actually feel like I'm actually in the video game, I don't give a rat's ass.
Well, I know
about
we
3D.
don't need it, but I can't say that I don't want to try it because I want to see a game in 3D and see just what it does. See how it
Steve's
stands
just waiting
out
for
or-
Go to Best Buy and watch Monsters vs. Aliens in 3D, okay?
No, I mean I want to physically play a game and see it in 3D and see how it's going to benefit me. to see
Steve
it
just
in
wants
3D
Ghost in the
'cause-
Shell now,
Yes.
and Motoko.
We're running out of time here. I mean, the Ghost in the Shell only happens in like 20 years, dude.
Okay.
No.
So,
Well,
I thought when you said we were running out of time, Ultraman had already been,
well, yes.
Yeah. Well,
That happened a long time ago.
due to the pollution of Earth's
You know,
atmosphere.
Yeah, the Nexus 6s need to get going here because 2019 is just around the corner.
Yeah, we have to go take our Voight Conf test.
Yeah. So anyway, next podcast, hopefully John will join us for a review of Prince of Persia. I hear it takes place in Persia and there might be a prince in it.
Yes, and also there's lots of sand.
Sandstorm.
Persephone from Clash of Titans, or
Yeah.
Deep
So-
hurting.
Yes. Lots of deep hurting.
Yeah, so I'll be back to talk about that.
Okay. So thank you for listening to Diehard Gamer Radio, your number one source for
Something.
something that isn't
Or
politics.
Or something else.
Thank you for listening to Diehard Gamer Radio. You can visit our website at diehardgamerradio.com and iTunes, or you can email us at diehardgamerradio@gmail.com.